One more week of preseason games, and then it's on to the regular season. And I have 2 videos that I have to do before my first week of picks, and this is the first one. Alright, so my video today is 3 teams you should look out for this year. Now, one is a team that I'm not expecting to make the playoffs, but I am expecting them to be much better than they were last year. And the other 2 are playoff contenders that I think are going to be in the playoffs this year. My first team is a team that I had last year that almost didn't reach expectations for me. It's the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Last year they almost made the playoffs after a slow start. And this year, I believe Jameis Winston is ready to lead this team on a playoff run. Now, I have 2 reasons for that. One is Winston himself. Now, he is in his 3rd year, and I've mentioned the 3rd year is when you start to show that you are the franchise. I mean, look what happened with Blake Bortles last year. Didn't perform up to expectations, and he had to fight for his job in the middle of the preseason. The second thing with Winston is he has weapons. And I mean weapons. You know about Mike Evans. He's one of the best young receivers in this league. But now you have one of the best deep threats, really, of this decade in Deshaun Jackson. Then you draft the best tight end in this draft, O.J. Howard. And this receiving core is starting to look like a scary core. I'll tell you that. The second reason is this defense. It ranked 23rd last year, but I think it's going to be much better. Noah Spence, I'm expecting him to have a breakout year and become that pass rusher that Tampa Bay's been looking for. Vernon Hargreaves is in his 2nd year, and I think he'll take the next step to be a good corner in this league. Gerald McCoy is one of the best defensive tackles in this league. And also, Quan Alexander and Levante David, I don't think they're talked about enough in this league. Those 2 are very underrated. I really think those 2 are great players, and they're just not getting the attention they deserve. So, expect Tampa Bay to be in the hunt for the playoffs, and expect them to be in the playoffs this year. My second team is the Tennessee Titans. Marcus Mariota, the same thing with Jameis Winston. He's going into his 3rd year, and he has to show that he is the franchise, and he will be with Tennessee for a long time. And they're doing everything they can to help him. They're getting the pieces for the receiving core. DeMarco Murray and Derrick Henry make a great 1-2 punch, and they've been getting that offensive line well enough so that they can protect him. And then on the defensive side of the ball, their rushing defense was 2nd in the league last year, and they've done everything they can to improve their passing defense. They signed Jonathan Cyprien, who was a banger for the Jaguars. You end up with Logan Ryan, who was very solid for New England. And finally, you draft Adoree Jackson, who is a playmaker and is not only going to help them on defense, but is going to help them in the return game as well. Tennessee's making all the right moves, and I think they are ready for a playoff run. And my last team is the Cleveland Browns. I know what you're thinking. What? The Cleveland Browns? But why? I don't get it. Hear me out. Hear me out. Cleveland was 1-15 last year. There's nothing they can do but go up. But they are making all the right moves. Okay, ever since this new higher management was hired, they're just trying to make all the right moves. They are rebuilding. Okay? They're not expected to do anything this year or the year after that. They just need to get better. And that all started with this draft. Myles Garrett has the potential to be an All-Pro. Jabril Peppers, he is probably going to be the ultimate playmaker for the Browns. And David Njoku has the potential to be one of the scariest tight ends in this league. And then the second round, they get DeShone Kizer, a guy that has potential through the roof. He's got that much talent, and he did so well in the preseason for them that he deserved to be named the starter. And they have these players that are starting to grow. Danny Shelton going into his 3rd year. He's starting to grow. Corey Coleman, he's heading into his 2nd year. Is he going to start to become a number 1 receiver? You know, they still have Joe Thomas, who was one of the leaders on that team. They have guys that are ready to start getting better. And that's why I want you to look out for the Cleveland Browns. Look for them to get better than last year. Okay? I'm not saying they're going to make the playoffs. I'm saying they're going to be better than they were last year. Guys, thanks for watching this video. When you're done watching it, please subscribe, comment, and like this video down below. And I have another video before my first week of picks, which will be next Wednesday. That will be my first week of picks, and I'll put up a video this Saturday. So, I'll see you then.